Let's play this Peter Thiel thing. Just speaking now that we're back on the Israel stuff.
Hmm.
So Peter Thiel is really the reason that JD Vance is the vice president, vice presidential nominee for
Gave
Trump.
JD Vance his job out of college.
He has a ton of money, ton of influence. He's basically going to help try to get Trump elected with all of his money. And it's just crazy how this whole, like, on this side of the political movement, they mention the deep state all the time. But it's guys like Peter Thiel and our defense contractors and people that create surveillance technology and who are operating like, I guess, in a semi deep state fashion, not being elected representatives, but having enough money and power and contracts with our government and other governments to make their presence felt seismically. Another Peter Thiel acolyte is Elon Musk. They came up in the PayPal days, and I guess maybe they're less connected now. But back, they came from cut from the same cloth, and now
Yeah, same guys.
Elon was Netanyahu's guest, his date at the address yesterday. So Peter Thiel, this clip is being resurfaced, and it's pretty amazing.
From a couple weeks ago at Cambridge.
He is answering a question by an audience member about the use of this AI drone program by Israel, and Peter Thiel. I guess this is one of his programs from
Peter Thiel, Palantir is providing Israel with AI technology.
But that's specifically the technology she's referring to.
I'm not sure if the one she labels, but Palantir is a leader in selling AI technology to Israel.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, also speaking of Elon Musk, he's like offering them technology as well via satellites.
Contractors, baby.
So
libertarian military contractors.
Right, that say that they want less government, sure. But I guess it is libertarian, right? Because they want everything privatized. That's a part of their vision. So here is that question, and he gets pretty uncomfortable.
So what do you think about the use of artificial intelligence, or lavender, by the IDF in identifying Hamas targets? And secondly, do you agree with Elon Musk about that the population decline is a risk for humanity?
Look, I'm not, without going into all the I'm not all the details of what's going on in Israel because my bias is to defer to Israel. It's not for us to second guess everything, and I believe that broadly the IDF gets to decide what it wants to do, and that they're broadly in the right, and that's sort of the perspective I come back to. And if I fall into the trap of arguing you on every detailed point, I would actually be conceding the broader issue that the Middle East should be micromanaged from Cambridge, and I think that's just simply absurd.
Oh, the libertarian
so I'm not
gloss.
going to concede.
Oh yeah, no, the most honest libertarian.
Can we pull up this article from 972 magazine that refers to exactly this?
Yeah, and I would just mention, he says the word, I defer to Israel. No, it's a different D word, Peter. You deal to Israel. You deal to them the things that they use to kill people.
Oh, I thought of a different D word.
Me too. I was like, oh, we're going there today.
Tell me later.
Okay. Lavender, the AI machine directing Israel's bombing spree in Gaza. The Israeli army has marked tens of thousands of Gazans as suspects for assassination using an AI targeting system with little human oversight. And then if we could just scroll down a bit, because it gives some of the most insane details. This is such a long investigation, but here it is. Formerly the Lavender system, is designed to mark all suspected operatives in the military wings of Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad, including low-ranking ones, as potential bombing targets. But if you could just scroll here. Here it is. According to the sources, moreover, the Israeli army systemically attacked the targeted individuals while they were in their homes, usually at night with their whole families present, rather than during the course of military activity. According to the sources, this was because from what they regarded as an intelligence standpoint, it was easier to locate the individuals in their private homes. Additional automated systems, including one called Where's Daddy, also revealed here for the first time, were used specifically to track the targeted individuals and carry out bombings when they had entered their families' residences. The article goes on to talk about how they have like a hundreds to one for every Hamas terrorist, which they largely just say any male in Gaza.
Yeah, I mean,
is like the whatever. It formalizes the genocide, I guess.
but it's nothing new. I mean,
yeah.
what they used to do, and Ilan Pappy talks about this in the documents he investigated in the 80s, is like you realize the way that they code these things, which is like, oh, there is an enemy base, and Ilan Pappy looks and is like, oh, by the enemy base on this map, it meant a village of civilians.
Right.
And it's just like, and now we got a fancier, quicker way of doing that, of saying, oh yeah, look at that person looks like a military aged man, probably a terrorist. Go ahead and take the shot. It's just a fancier way of licensing the killing that they've wanted to do for like 75 years.
It puts like another layer of obfuscation, because no one is actually making that decision. It's AI, it's like how Hillary Clinton used like the Red Queen or whatever. That might be the one from Umbrella Corporation, used to decide not to go to Wisconsin or Michigan or stuff like that. It's a way to absolve yourself of responsibility of, committing a genocide. And I think that's one of the things that people need to understand is, especially when they're trying to compare this current genocide to ones in the past, which is that, genocide looks differently, especially as new technologies integrated into the process. Just like the weapons of the industrial age and the sort of machines industrial age were weaponized
IBM punch cards.
Yeah, exactly. To, do genocide back during the Holocaust. But now we're just seeing digital technology, AI technology being weaponized to commit a genocide against a different population. It's, history doesn't repeat itself. It's like a spiral. It's, just parallel.
There's a little bit more from this Peter Thiel thing if we want to watch.
Go for it.
He's asked about his support of Vance here, and it's very funny. And then he faces a protester.
He's a weird pervert like me.
Regarding the upcoming presidential elections, you mentioned you wouldn't be supporting Donald Trump. Would that change if he selected J.D. Vance as his vice presidential candidate?
And I'm always tempted to go back. I am so determined to try to stay out of it, but I think I'm not going to make an announcement of my political intentions here at Cambridge today. So, I think Trump will win. I think that.
Now the protester gets
sorry,
involved.
this is not your opportunity to ask a question of the speaker. We'll ask you to sit down, otherwise you will be removed from the chamber.
Protesters saying divest, and that.
As I said, the more time you're spending, it's the less time for other members to ask questions.
Peter responds here in a second.
You will be escorted out of the chamber if you don't sit down, please.
I mean, am I allowed to respond to that?
Yeah, if you'd like.
I feel I shouldn't dignify it with a response, but it is just, this is just, it sort of feels like the pot calling the kettle black, or people in glass houses shouldn't throw rocks. But, in my telling, the only genocidal thing there is Hamas, and they didn't kill every last Jewish person in Israel, but it wasn't for lack of desire to do so. They wanted to kill every last Jewish person, and they just did not have the means to do it. And so, if one element of
we can pause it there at the disgraceful applause those Cambridge towheads gave him. But I'll just say one bit of evidence against the idea that Hamas simply just wanted to kill all Jews is that they took a number of them hostage. So that would just a little data point. Peter Thiel runs a private intelligence corporation. Maybe he has access to information I don't. But they didn't kill those ones. They took them hostage. And Israel didn't want to get them back because you know what they wanted to do? A genocide.
I would have never guessed that between the two of them, Elon Musk would have been the more articulate one.
Yeah.
But
Right,
here we
right.
are. But here we are. That is
I'm
something else.
astounded. I'm astounded by his inability to talk. It's like watching Porky Pig up there.
More of a code guy.
It's
But you know-
Biden. It's like Porky Pig and Biden combined. Honestly,
Porky
Biden
Pig and
now.
Biden.
Like he's just completely unable to discuss whatever he is trying to say. I really enjoyed who was like, "Can I dignify that with a response?" He's
Just the basic like DC bullshit you get. Like, look, the libertarian master of technology is going to speak, and it's just the same shit you hear from any bot asset of APAC.
Well, it is just fascinating too, because like how in the way that people convince themselves that Elizabeth Holmes was like this next like visionary, any personality defect, whether it be, oh, you're super creepy to be around, or oh, you can't talk in the context of tech, is just used to justify their own genius because they already have all the money. And so people have decided that if you have money, you must have earned it. You must be uniquely talented in this country. And Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, all those guys are just a great example of that fact.
Hey, so we all remember the Supreme Court's ruling on Trump's presidential immunity case. Well, get this. The leader of the Heritage Foundation think tank has said the second American Revolution will be bloodless if the left allows it to be. All sparked by the Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity. Well, Ground News found nearly 50 sources reporting on it with zero coverage coming from the right. Why? Well, going through these articles, you can see most of them tie this project to Trump. Like this report from the DCCC writing Trump's so-called Project 2025 manifesto advocates for a nationwide abortion ban, quote, silencing his political enemies and more. With presidential elections not too far away, this is an extremely important story, and you wouldn't know about it unless you intentionally diversify where you get your news from, which is why Ground News created their blind spot feed. It's to surface major stories with little reporting coming from either the right or the left. Our longtime sponsor really simplifies empowering yourself with knowledge so we're fully aware where our information is coming from and how that influences our reporting or lack thereof. An important mission under our current political climate. Best of all, they're offering my viewers 40% off the same unlimited access Vantage plan that gets me access to all their features. So head to ground.news/majority or scan my QR code to help support an independent news platform working towards a more transparent media landscape.